Hey everybody, welcome to Tour Stop. I'm Ryan Stocks.
And I'm Joni Elizabeth.
And we have your all-access pass to your favorite bands.
As well as new and upcoming artists.
That's right. On tonight's show, we've got my interview with Jason from Letlive. Jason was recently voted the biggest rock star in the world by the great Kerrang! Magazine. In the world.
And I talked to K.flay, the female indie hip-hop artist.
She's very cool.
She was cool.
You know, it's interesting. We've had Jason on the show 3 times. K.flay's been on the show twice. But for the first time, we have Seether, South African rockers. They will be wrapping up the show with them on tonight's show.
So good stuff in store.
Yep. All right, so coming up first will be my interview with Jason from Letlive. Like I said, it's his 3rd time on the show.
I know. Are you going to stick him on your Christmas card list now?
I think I will, as a matter of fact, yeah. Always great conversation with these guys. They're very genuine, honest, and humble people, and they put out some good music as well. So let's check out our conversation. All right, hey everybody, Ryan here with Jason from Letlive, the only band that we've had on the show 3 times.
We're the only band.
Yeah, you guys. We've never had any. We've had a couple on twice,
Triple.
I'd say, but
that's like the Lakers, the dynasty.
That's right.
3P, baby.
But last time you were here, it was before you guys were able to make your official announcement about the epitaph. So but you were talking about how they wanted your rise or your growth, we'll call it, to be like a slow, naturally occurring, organic thing, Yeah. And I say it seems like they've followed through with that.
Yeah.
But has there been like a plan?
But yeah, there was never really a plan. We always just talked about things we wanted. You talk like ambitious.
Yeah.
We're always ambitious, and it's like being a kid. Like, man, I'd really like a sick bike with pegs for Christmas. You know what I'm saying?
Pegs,
and not getting it the first year or the second year, but maybe dad made his Christmas bonus, or mom was working extra hours, or whatever. Oh, you get it your 3rd year Christmas.
Right.
And it's like, I feel like this right now, and what's going to happen next year, and what keeps happening is that Christmas where you finally got that sick bike with pegs.
Nice.
So it's growing, and it is in fact it's authentic. It is organic. But I find it to be the visceral nature of Letlive is certainly found this really nice matrimony with the business that Epitaph has to handle, because we really don't give a about the business. So.
Right.
But it's cool because they do it with us, and it's great.
Yeah, Under Oath farewell tour, dude. You've gotten to tour with them before.
Yeah.
And they asked you.
Yeah, it's crazy.
To play there for
It's crazy.
What's going through your mind now?
Man, I just talked to Chris, their keyboardist, today.
Good guy. We had him on the show once. Yeah.
He's seriously I wish he was my dad.
He's so nice.
He's the best, dude.
Yeah.
He's so cool. I spoke with him today, and it's just funny that question is being asked. It was an hour ago. But it's wild. It's wild because we did that tour last summer, in July, and it was a huge deal for us because that they were like a milestone band for everyone.
Oh yeah.
Anyone in heavier music listened to that band, and so for us we did that, and to be put in that situation with them was humbling, and it grounded us, and it showed us what it takes to be a band that people care about at one point and continue to do so.
Yeah. You guys have been playing Fake History for a long time now.
A minute, yeah.
Is that still Letlive at this point?
Yeah, I think Fake History, honestly, these are really good questions. They all come back into each other.
Thanks.
It's really good.
We'll cut that part out.
Yeah. Fake History is Letlive. That's I was in Letlive when I was a kid, and I started Letlive when I was a kid. But this band that people know now and have grown to know and recognize is Fake History, and that's that's
true.
Really our genesis. That was our launch pad. That was our launch pad. That people they related to it, and whether it's the music or the time in our lives and the sort of representation or the exhibition that we got to present sonically on the record, whether it's any of those variables, something happened with that record. And I'm not saying it was this grandiose, oh my God, we became not at all. But it happened though, and so Fake History will always be Letlive, no matter what. Even if we start wearing parkas or muumuus on stage, and we just sit there and sing, it's always gonna be Letlive.
Right.
But at the same time, and this may seem contradictory, but at the same time, this next record, and there's most definitely an evolution, both emotionally, like with the subject matter, instrumentally. I mean, everything, because that's what you do. Like when you're in a band, at least this band and what I believe is you move forward. Don't remain stagnant. Progress is what we're here for, so keep it going. So we definitely didn't like to make like a huge departure from Fake History, but at the same time, it's very obvious that, you know, there's a significant shift in what we're doing, and we're going to continue to do that. Like, that's what this band is about. So hopefully people understand that and really give it that consideration when they're listening to it. But yeah, man, Fake History will always be Letlive, and so is this next record, and so will the next record. And I never want to look back on a record and be like, I don't like that. Like, I just, you know, I never want to be ashamed of anything we've ever done, even if it really does suck. Like, I don't want to be ashamed of it. It's all a part.
It meant a lot to you at the time.
Yeah, it's integral. It's an integral part. And there are a lot of things that I wasn't able to express in Fake History because whether it be like I was self-conscious or I wasn't exactly, I haven't exercised that part of myself yet well enough to show the rest of the world or listeners. But on this record, I really think I was able to do so.
Do you feel like you're, all right, then you feel you're more open now? Like you are in a place where you don't have to filter anything as it's coming out?
At least a little more so than I was before, You know, there are things like everything from like, from, you know, growing up and faith and whatever, to women, to men, to friends, to warfare, to politics, to my health, to, you know, like things like that I just didn't know how to say them without just sounding like a brat, you know, or sounding like, you know, not emotional enough, you know, like not really getting it out there. And I didn't want to do a disservice to the way that I feel about these things.
So how are you guys like behind closed doors? You know, like everyone sees, you know, this side of you guys that went via interview and video and on stage and stuff. How much of a change or transformation happens, or is there one?
Always. And I think that people that say there isn't, like, are usually lying. You know, there's always a change, man. Like, my comfort zone is different than right now than it is when I'm in that band. Totally. You know, like we're goofy. Like we love crass humor. We love like intelligent conversation. We love to be stimulated. We love to just not give. You know, like. We're just normal dudes. Like, we're really just normal dudes that get the chance to talk like this to you and to the viewers and the fans and, you know, friends. Like, we're lucky. Like, and so, behind closed doors, we're just like guys that want to hang out. You know, I mean, that's so layman, but you know, it's just what it is. What it is.
It's been a pleasure, man. It's always good to have you, man.
Thank you, man. Seriously.
Yeah, and of course, you know, we'll be in there.
Yeah, we'll be rocking out. It'll be fun.
Once again, that was my interview with Jason from Letlive. The band will be on Under Oath's farewell tour later on this year, and at the end of the episode, we're actually going to have a music video from them as well.
Speaking of music videos, K.flay, like I said, I talked to her, a female indie hip-hop artist.
Very cool girl.
Very good style, I liked it. And before you hear her interview, here's some of her doing her work with the video Rest Your Mind.
I gotta brush my teeth.
Trying to sip something, I'm at a coffee fiend on a sugar high, and a girl who's sad and fucking cuts her thighs. I got a lazy friend with a baller job, now a grandma cooking lots of baklava. Had a twosome with the DJ, living gruesome. I've been BK, you don't wanna roll with me. Eyes are shut, so fatigued.
This job sometimes could make me become a lot dumber, and I don't mean that like making music doesn't take brain cells, but just like the lifestyle of touring and.
You think you're just checking your messages or telling a friend you're on your way. They could be the last words you ever type. Make sure you get where you're going.
before the break, you were watching K.flay's music video, Rest Your Mind, shot in the bathroom, brushing your teeth, which is one of those things that gets me. Toothbrush bubbles for some reason. But I like her sound, and it was really fun to talk to her. So next up, here's the interview with K.flay. Well, welcome. Thanks for coming today. I really appreciate it. So I read on your description on your Facebook that you grew up in the era of Jordan and Horace Grant, which I think is awesome that you listed, because I personally was a Larry Bird, Scottie Pippen fan myself.
Larry Bird and Scottie Pippen.
I know, weird, huh?
Rival
Conflicting.
teams.
But my brother had the poster with like the wingspan, you know?
Yeah.
When did you move to Brooklyn full time?
Moved there a year ago, technically, although I haven't spent like enough time there really, because it's been a lot of touring and traveling this year. But I think hopefully this fall, when I'm done recording this album that I'm working on, I'm almost done, I'll be able to like, cook dinner at home.
You like
enjoy.
cooking?
I do, yeah. I do. I'm like big into dinner
like to cook?
parties. Well, I don't know. I just made some pretty. I feel like I keep telling people about this because like
I've never heard it before. First time.
All right.
First time.
First time. So my buddy's vegetarian, and I wanted to cook this like vegetarian feast. But then I ended up inviting all these people, so then I had to make all this food. But I made these really good bulgur burgers. You know bulgur wheat?
No.
Yeah. It's kind of weird. So it's like, I don't know. It's maybe similar to barley or something.
Okay.
But it's like, it's very good for you. Now, that's not why I made these, but it's like super high protein, super high in fiber. Yeah. And it's like that in beans and cilantro and roasted onions, and then you put that in a food processor and make these. It's awesome.
So let's talk about your music. A lot of it is free on your website.
Yes.
Why the choice to just give it away right now?
Well, I mean, I think at this point, especially when you're like a young artist, the goal, at least in my mind, is just exposure, to give people, to create as few obstacles to obtaining the music and listening to it and perhaps liking it. So, I think obviously people are more likely to take something if it's free. And, it's been cool, like just, I know a lot of other artists who say this too, but, I'll play like tonight in Spokane or wherever, and people will like try to give me $20, be like, I download so much of your music, I want to give you this, but it's like they come onto the shows, they support it, and I think it builds like an organic movement of people who are invested in something.
Yeah, that's gotta be really cool to see such a genuine appreciation.
Yeah,
from fans,
people are really nice. Like, I mean, there's a lot of bad people out there, but most people are.
Do you have any crazy stories from the road?
Oh, I mean, yeah, probably. Actually, we just saw a dude. This isn't really.
Here in Spokane, Washington? Is this true?
Well, we saw a dude who we saw two people in a row who had gunshots in their shins. I'm pretty sure.
Was it a tattoo or was it a real?
No, it was like an open wound.
Oh my
so that was
God.
a little harrowing on the way. But no, I saw a girl. It was so we played Bellingham last night. I hope this girl isn't watching. She probably doesn't remember, but it was her 25th birthday. She was very intoxicated and really sweet though.
Very sweet, intoxicated.
We were leaving, and I'm like going to the bathroom one last time, and in the stall next to me, all of a sudden, just comes a wave of vomit, like on the floor, everything.
It's a happy ending.
Well, hold on. So that's bad enough. That's like kind of bad. Then like some other friend comes in and is like, "Are you okay?" She's like, "Yeah," and then slips and falls into her own vomit in a public bathroom stall.
Oh my God.
And
did you
then
vomit?
no, I was like, dude, oh God. We got pictures of it, but then
Instagram.
I didn't realize it was her. I thought it was her friend who was the one who was doing this. And then as we were leaving, I saw the girl, and I was like, hey, I think your friend's like having a hard time in there. And then I looked down at the girl's shoes, and I was like, oh, dude, no, that was you.
So I saw a book report up on your website. Do you have a favorite author, favorite genre to read?
It was funny. I was just talking about this today. I think probably my favorite author is Margaret Atwood, although that's maybe out of just, she has also written like 80 million books, so there's a lot to like.
A lot to choose.
Yeah, but I like a mix. I mean, I like reading kind of alternating fiction and nonfiction, but I think like for me, reading is sort of this good meditative activity, it forces me to just sort of escape the world, and I love reading. And it's good because I feel like this job sometimes could make me become a lot dumber, and I don't mean that like making music doesn't take brain cells, but just like the lifestyle of touring and
right.
It's kind of
Completely different
gnarly.
probably
Yeah.
from-
So sometimes I'm like, okay, at least I'm reading a book. Like my life can't be that bad. I haven't ruined it all.
So a lot of your fans, they appreciate that you stay true to yourself and your style and who you are. Do you ever feel that you have some pressure from anyone to kind of portray a different persona?
Honestly, no. Yeah.
good.
No one ever really has said anything like that. I mean, I think people don't want me to like look like ill or something, you know, like look terrible. But I mean, it's been cool. Like, and I'm on a major label now, and they haven't,
Right.
you know, really done anything remotely to tamper with like how I present myself. They sometimes have cool suggestions for things, but like have never,
That's
I
awesome.
think it's been good. You know, it's like I think in this age, like people can sniff out, like the audience, the world can sniff out an inauthentic kind of image or whatever persona, and it really is ultimately kind of a disservice to the whole thing to try to mold something into something it isn't. You know, I think the key is enhancing the cool parts of something. You know, not totally just stepping on them, spitting on them, making a vulgar paragraph.
There you go. So growing up, you were a tomboy,
Was?
and then you kind of merged into. And I'm the same way. Like I grew up with two brothers. I was like, oh, I hate
Yeah.
anything girly, and then all of a sudden I was like complete girly. So what do you think that transition was for you? Or
I don't know. I mean, my brother is the same age as me, so we were kind of this little like ragtag duo. And I think just as we got older and we weren't like constantly playing football in the backyard or whatever, beating up my little sister, you know, I think that was probably it. But yeah, I have no idea actually.
where does your brother live now?
He lives in New York.
Oh, cool. So
Yeah.
we get to see a little more.
Yeah,
of him, I guess, from the
yeah.
last
No, my
time.
brother's awesome. It's funny too because he has like a serious job, so he'll like, and he works really late.
Serious job.
And so he'll come like to shows in suits, and he's like the one guy in a suit, and everyone's like,
That's awesome.
he's great.
Supportive.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
yeah, of course. Thank you for having me.
Take care. So that was the interview with K.flay.
Very cool.
Great to talk to her. She does have her album coming out very soon. It was supposed to be released this summer actually, but
Got pushed back,
putting a
right?
little extra love into it, pushed back a little bit, but straight from the source, she did tell us it will be out soon.
Soon.
It is on the way. Soon.
All
What's
right,
next?
it's actually time to take a break, but on the other side of that, we've got my interview with Seether, and then we'll wrap it up with Letlive's music video for Mother, with a U, and U.
Oh, mother.
And I mean, we got very lucky with it, but I think, you know, playing those shows and like, man, this, you know, and it was great, man. Like,
Yeah.
the first time you know, girls start like, oh, you play the guitar?
Here at the GED Pep Talk Center, we have pep talkers standing by to get you motivated for your GED diploma. Text the name Terry to 69222 for a sympathetic pep talk.
You show people what you really are.
Or for a gentle pep talk, text the name Deborah.
You know you're going to make people very proud of you.
And if that's not enough, text the name Danny for an extreme pep talk.
Prove everyone wrong. Show them you're the boss.
Get your GED pep talk and find free GED classes. Text the name of the person you want a pep talk from to 69222.
All right, welcome back to Tour Stop, everybody. It's now time for my interview with Dale from Seether, South African hard rockers. We hung out at the Bing Crosby Theater, downtown Spokane. Cool
Gorgeous
place.
spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Is that where they played?
no, they played at the Knit right next door. But anyway, diplomatic community. Hey everybody, Ryan here with Dale from Seether. We are here at the Bing Crosby Theater in Spokane, Washington. Just
Yeah, man, I would love to travel. You know, that's like
the dream.
that's
you know?
it's the part about it that makes it hard. It's not the
Yeah.
work part that's hard. It's like being away and traveling and all that.
Yeah.
But it's also one of the things that makes it fun. You know?
Well, yeah, you get to see all those new places, but just that constant on the go thing.
Yeah.
It's got to.
Yeah, it's a beat down.
Not everyone can pull that off, you know. Like
It's not for everyone.
Like, do you have to decide consciously that you like have a conversation with yourself? Like, all right, you have to prepare yourself. Like, I'm gonna be nonstop for a year straight.
Yeah.
Like, how does that go?
I think initially, like, no one can really prepare you for it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, no one can say, okay, well, it's going to be like this.
Right.
It might feel like that. And, you know.
Yeah, it's
you just got to jump in, and
case by case.
if it works, then yeah. But a lot of people, like we've brought guys out on the road, like you know, to join the band, and they're like, after 6 months, they had this like romantic, like glamorous idea of what they thought it would be. You know, when that doesn't happen, then they're like, I'm going home, man. This sucks.
Right. Yeah. Seether's been around 10 years now.
Yeah.
You know, roughly.
Right.
And
well, 10 years in the 10 years in the States.
10 years in the States, yeah.
You know, we were around for about 2 years before that in South Africa. So that's really when we did the bulk of our, you know, basement house party shows. And
can you still recall some of those feelings and memories?
Oh yeah, you know, I almost think that those shows were. I mean, we've had some amazing big shows that just kind of, you know, really stick out and just.
Just the
you have that
sheer
moment on stage,
massive size
and it
of
hits you.
everything.
You're like, wow, this is amazing. You know?
Mm-hmm.
But I think if anything, those you know, little house parties and playing to 4 of your buddies and the bartenders at a club. I think
raw, intimate.
I think those were almost more exciting in a way, because you had you know, I mean, we were kids too, man. So we just had this imagination. And we're like, man, imagine we can, like, you know, play this show or like play a festival, like, you know, on the main stage, or, you know, like, you know, and everything. And you're just like, oh man, you know, you just, you know, have these wide eyes and like big dreams, and you know, in the back of your mind, you're like, well, it's probably never going to happen, you know, especially coming from South Africa.
Well, and that's all you hear from the outside is
you know, and I mean, we got very lucky with it, but I think, you know, playing those shows and man, this, you know, and it was great, man. Like the first time when, you know, girls start like, oh, you play the guitar?
Now, you know, like you said, you're wide-eyed and you're just excited back in the day, and you have all these dreams, and then you guys finally hit that mark after a certain point. How would you describe that feeling the first time, if you can still pinpoint now, where you stepped out on the stage and you're just like, wow, we made it? You know, can you recall a specific, or was there a certain chunk of time where you had kind of that well up within you?
I don't know. There's been a couple times when we really it really like hits you like, wow, this is crazy. I think the first time was when Wind Up Records called us up and said, look, we want to meet you guys. Can you fly to New York City? And that was unreal. And then actually arriving in New York City and meeting with the label people. And I mean, we were terrified. You know,
is it kind of surreal?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we'd never been overseas or anything. And
oh wow!
And we didn't want to disappoint. We didn't want to like blow our chance.
Right.
We played the showcase for them that totally sucked.
Oh no!
But yeah, but you know, throughout, it's funny, you know, because you know, 9 times out of 10, you kind of go on stage and it's what you do. And, you know, we have fun with it and play the show, and you don't really think too much about it. But every now and again, there'll be a show. You know, like when we were back in South Africa now, we played a big festival there in August, and there's this huge festival called Opikopi, and it's a festival that we played when we were kids, and before we even played it, you know, we used to go there. And
right. It's the event.
Yeah, and
right?
it's out in the middle of nowhere, just in the bush, and you know, a bunch of people go, and it's just drinking and partying and fires and music and, you know, partying for like 3 days straight, you know. So it was always like the festival to go to.
Yeah.
And you know, played it back in the day, but we got to play it again now. We headlined it, you know.
Wow.
And that was one of those surreal moments where you're on stage, and there were a lot of people too. I think it was the biggest one yet. They had about 20,000.
No way. That's incredible.
You know, you're just on stage and just like, it kind of hits you, and you think about it, and you're like, wow, this is crazy. You know, like we've come so far, and then you like reflect, and there's this weird like little surreal moment that goes on in your head and just like hits you. You're like, wow.
Yeah, well, Dale, hey man, it's been nice talking to you. Really nice to meet you, and I'm looking forward to catching your set just down the way there. And hopefully we can hang out again next time you guys roll through. Dale also told me that Seether will be touring Europe for the rest of the year, and then they're going to take a little time to write and record a new record.
All right.
So Seether fans, look out for that.
Sounds like a plan. Before we leave you tonight, we have the music video Mother from Letlive. take a look and enjoy.
See you next time.
Adios.